So it has been since June 12th since we've actually talked about Arcane Studios' Redfall, but the big second update has finally hit, including performance mode for consoles, amongst other things that they're doing to make this game better, but that's going to be the big one. We'll break down the entire patch in just a moment. But otherwise, welcome back, Deadites and Ghost Beaters. If you're new to the channel, I am Oldhead Gaming. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the notification bell for all horror game-related information. And here it is, the second big update. Now, poor Redfall has had one of the worst starts to most games that I have ever seen. Ever since the game has dropped on May the 2nd, we've had a pretty rough run. Now, they did a first major update that was supposed to increase some stability, which was a little marginal, increase the AI, which was definitely seeable, and some other tweaks as they had dropped that June the 12th, and we have not had a major update since then. Like, it has been months since we talked about Redfall, but here it is. We're going to take a look at the entire update, but like, let's be honest, the first thing that everyone wants to know is you can finally, 6 months after drop, you can now play the game on 60 FPS on your Series X and S. Let's take a look at it. Redfall's game update number 2 is here. This patch brings performance mode to Xbox X and S, stealth takedowns, new controller settings, accessibility performance improvements, and much more. Explore an even more dangerous Redfall with an increased open world enemy population and new encounters. Read on for the full list additions and fixes in this update. Now, this still hasn't brought in the first DLC yet because they've just been working for 2 months to fix this horrifically broken game. Start with performance and stability, and we enabled performance mode on Xbox X and S. This is the thing that everyone on console was crying about at the beginning. Rightfully so. The game was locked at 30 frames per second. We were playing on 60 on Steam. Improved PC performance and stability across a wide range of hardware configurations. Addressed several edge case memory crashes. I experienced those. You probably saw in my last video. Addressed graphical corruption issue with charging resolution on AMD GPUs. Fixed an issue resetting game settings to their defaults while in window displayed on second monitor. Anti-aliasing setting is now hidden in the video settings. Various performance improvements made hero abilities, weapons, and general game systems. Various fixes to support hero abilities, triggering properly despite environmental factors like ladders, deathmatch, electrocution, and more. Improve the player's navigation and collision across all of Redfall common and burial points. So that's what we have for performance and stability. They also adjusted some stuff in the user interface. Weapons with silencers or silenced muzzle attachment now reflect their silent state and tooltips. Vault and mantle indicators now display correctly in the HUD when a surface can be vaulted or mantled. This is a lot of stuff that is just, we put out a broken game that should have been pushed. The mission briefing table now better delineates between main and optional missions. Functional improvements to compass markers, objective search areas to behave more consistently. Historical markers now display on the map in their locked state once player complete the introductory missions of Redfall's Commons and Burial Point. Improved the readability of ammo purchasing. Add-ons for off-screen indicator when Bribon is now downed. Fixed an issue where the objective search were blocking fast travel actions while using the map. The text-to-speech hotkey now displays all the times when active. Player reporting now shows a loaded indicator when submitting, and clarification of the achievement descriptor for Rum Runner has been made. So that's kind of what we're doing now. Like, a lot of stuff that shouldn't have ever launched the way it should be have been kind of adjusted, plus of course performance mode. Next, we're going to look at accessibility, and it's a lot of improvements to screen narration updates when multiplayer changes already up, support when the text field is open, narrate back and friends menu control on all pages, support with username input across add crossplay friends sub menu, fixed an issue where players would be prompted to press enter when focused on username. Support the navigation of hero select and system select menus, navigates game invites. When selecting a locked difficulty, the screen describes the difficulty type as locked. When selecting unlocked difficulty, screen is difficulty selected. Main menu selection tips for system. Hover support on all buttons in digital and analog. Narration support when pings are placed or removed. Fixed several issues with screen narration at Bethesda.net models. Removed incorrect proper press centers. More Bethesda.net. So a lot of problems with crossplay and Bethesda.net for accessibility. Exiting a multiplayer now properly reads as close instead of quit or leave lobby. Lobby leveling now visible and audibly differentiates between single and multiplayer. More improvements to photosensitivity, such as ADS, rear red emergency light, flashing environments have been minimized, vampire death and disintegration, C4 bombs are now not detonating in rapid succession, and summoning Layla's lift with other players standing nearby. Some game fixes, numerous improvements to default aim assist and dead zone tuning, arcane recommendations. For fast-paced multiplayer FPS, check out medium, high, or linear input response presets. For slower single-player FPS fans, check out default low or medium input resets. Increase, decrease your controller sensitivity have been fixed. For players who turn up their controller sensitivity, consider trying a default strong, very strong aim assist. Players who turn down it, try weaker or very weak aim assist. During the settling in mission, Anacreonman will now fill the player's pistol, shotgun, or assault rifle ammunition. Added new vampire nests to Old Town and Sedgwick. Added tutorial blade and archive entry for psych residue. Remy C4 no longer remains in the world after exploding. Various fixes for missions and added mission dialogue. We also did some stuff for combat, environment, and finally multiplayer. Players can now sneak up and take down unaware cultists and Bellwether with staked weapons, increase open world enemy population, mission counterbalances, added unique open world enemy encounters in Redfall Commons, added elements of light and reflective clothing to vampire and human NPCs to aid visibility during night, increase ammo pickups in areas surrounding fire station, enemies now repositioned to avoid friendly fire. Bribon is now guaranteed to shock nearby enemies when using Siren with robot rock skill activated. Remy will now be alerted when and where Bribon is downed. Fix several scenarios where the enemies could be stuck in idle state, stopped engaging with the players. Sight and silencer barrels have been updated to improve visibility. Green sights have been turned that they're not as bright at night. Scale positioning of mags have been improved for clipping and other animation issues. Improved rook combat behavior and Black Sun boss arena. Environment. References to the burial point distinct have been added to the map in Redfall Commons. Improve the lighting presentation in the Black Sun boss arena. Improve visual fidelity for psychic space butterflies, fog pockets, and Black Sun's glowing sigil. And various water effects. Well, I mean, there's a lot of water, so that makes sense. Multiplayer. Added visual distinct player indicators and markers for multiplayer sessions and unique co-op pinging. Oh, now everyone can be their own color. Yay! Improved player ping visibility and light out achievement will now award in multiplayer only if the Lost in the Fog mission is active. And there you have it. There's the patch. And it's probably a good thing that they took time to really do a lot of fixes to the game. And who knows, maybe I'll try it out on console and see how it runs. Maybe we'll do a quick little run through and see if the game is even playable on console and see how it looks in 60 frames per second there, because that was the big one. Everyone's been asking for this game to hit 60 frames and not be so terrible, because the playing of the game was janky at best. And so they did a lot of fixes. They did some work on the PC side because it was really conflicting with a lot of cards and memory crashes. And they adjusted some of the environments. So overall, it's a big fix patch, which was absolutely necessary, and it added performance mode. So they felt like they were ready to launch that on Series S and X. Now, of course, we did not get the first character yet, 6 months later, and they said recently they are committed to getting that DLC out. So we shall see if that ever does come to fruition for those who bought the Bite Back upgrade to their game, or they bought the Bite Back DLC for all the additional characters that were supposed to come. We'll see if they ever actually drop from Arcane. But here's what we have, and this is what you can expect from Redfall starting today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you still playing Redfall? Are you even curious about what could possibly be left in this game? Or did you abandon it when all the janky issues caused you so much grief? I want to know in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, and later, mates.